the world doesn't slow down until something forces it to. A moment. A sound. A breath. And in that breath, everything can change. Downtown Los Angeles. 8:42 a.m. The city was in motion. Men in suits juggled coffee cups and phone calls. Women in heels raced crosswalk timers. Vendors shouted about fresh bagels. Children giggled as they skipped beside nannies. Nobody expected what came next. It happened right at the corner of Wilshire and 7th. A silver SUV ran a red light. A pregnant woman stepped into the crosswalk. And the two collided like fate crashing into flesh. Thud. Her body crumpled instantly. The world around her paused, but only for a second. Long enough for the gasps. Not long enough for action. She lay in the middle of the street. Blood trickled down her temple. Her white dress spread out like shattered porcelain. Her belly, visibly round beneath it, rose and fell shallowly. A man in a suit held his phone. A young woman whispered, "Oh my God." But no one moved. A child tugged at his mother's arm. "Mommy, help her." The mother pulled him close and said nothing. Some filmed. Some stared. But no one helped. Not yet. 3 blocks away, a girl was sweeping the alley behind a diner. Her name was Maya. She was 22. Homeless. Black. Invisible. She heard the crash, loud and unnatural. And she ran. Shoes unlaced, coat flapping behind her, she darted into traffic, weaving between cars, sprinting like the world depended on it. Maya didn't know who the woman was. Didn't know the baby. Didn't even think. She just ran. By the time she reached the intersection, people had already circled the woman like a display at a museum, admiring tragedy, too distant to feel it. Maya shoved past them. "Move. Get out of the way." Maya dropped to her knees beside the woman. Blood smeared her palms instantly. She didn't flinch. She tore off her coat and folded it under the woman's head. The woman's eyes fluttered, unfocused. Her lips quivered. Her hands clutched her stomach, protecting the child within. Hey, you're okay. Stay with me, all right?" The woman tried to speak but choked on air. "Don't try to talk. Just blink if you can hear me." A blink. Maya exhaled. Relief. Hope. "Has anyone called 911? She's pregnant." A few murmurs. Someone said yes. Another took a picture. But no one bent down. No one else touched her. Just Maya. For a moment, Maya's mind wandered. To a memory buried deep. Her mother lying on their old kitchen floor. Same expression. Same helplessness. Except no one came. No one helped. Back then, Maya had been a child with empty hands. Now she was a woman with fire in her blood. And she refused to let this woman die the same way. "You're strong, Mama. You hear me? You're not alone. I'm right here." She held the woman's hand. Held it like she'd known her for years. Like it was her sister. Her best friend. Herself. The woman gasped. Eyes wide. She tried to say something. Maya leaned closer. A word. Faint. "Baby." Maya nodded, squeezing her hand. "You're not leaving that baby. Not today." A man in a tie whispered, "Is she homeless?" Someone else said, "She's bleeding too." But no one helped. And Maya? She didn't care. She ripped the hem of her shirt and pressed it to the woman's head to slow the bleeding. She used her bare hands to keep pressure on her wound. And through it all, she kept talking. "Tell me your name, okay? I'm Maya. You're gonna be okay. I swear. Pause with us for a second. This is the part in most stories where people like Maya get overlooked. Labeled. Judged. Forgotten. But if this moment moved you, if you believe kindness still matters, drop a comment below, I would have helped. Or, if you're being honest, I need to be better. Like this video if Maya's courage means something to you. Because she didn't ask for likes. She just gave love. Sirens echoed in the distance. The ambulance was close. Maya leaned in. Almost there. Just hold on. The woman blinked slowly. Sweat beaded across her forehead. Her breathing slowed. Maya whispered. Maya. Don't go. Not now. Not like this. Flashing lights. A red glow against the sidewalk. 2 EMTs rushed forward, breaking through the crowd. We got her. What's her status? She's losing blood fast. She's conscious, but weak. She's pregnant. They nodded. Took over. Lifted the woman with practiced care. You did good. Real good. Maya didn't answer. The woman on the stretcher turned her head, just slightly. Whispered. She saved me. The EMT turned back. But Maya was gone. She'd vanished into the crowd like mist at sunrise. No name. No number. No way to trace her. Just a girl in a blood-stained shirt. And eyes that had seen too much to wait around for applause. Miles away, a man in a corner office answered a call. His heart stopped. His wife was in the hospital. His child was barely alive. And someone he didn't know had saved them both. Who? Who saved her? The nurse said one word. We don't know. She didn't stay. And just like that, Ethan Blake began his search. Back at the diner alley, Maya washed her hands in a public sink. She sat against the wall, wrapped in a blanket the cook gave her. And she wrote in her notebook. Today, I mattered. Not for money. Not for followers. Just because someone needed me. Some heroes don't wear badges. They don't drive fancy cars. They don't wait to be seen. They just show up. Even when nobody else does. In a city of millions, she was invisible. Until she wasn't. She saved a life, and vanished. But now. The world was starting to notice. And one man. Was willing to do whatever it took. To find the girl who saved everything he loved. Alyssa Blake blinked at the fluorescent lights overhead. Her vision still blurry. Her head pounding. But the sound she focused on most, was the heartbeat. The soft, steady rhythm of her unborn child playing through the monitor beside her. Tears formed in her eyes. She's alive. The nurse at her side nodded. You both are. You're a miracle. But Alyssa shook her head. No, she's the miracle. The girl, who saved me. Ethan Blake didn't do panic. He was a numbers guy. Net worth, $2.8 billion. CEO of Blake Innovations. A man who moved fast, spoke sharper, and solved problems with money. But that morning, when his assistant burst in with a trembling voice and said, Sir, there's been an accident. His world collapsed. 10 minutes later, he was on the hospital floor, holding Alyssa's hand. And hearing a name he didn't expect. Not the driver. Not the EMT. But someone unnamed. Unknown. You're saying, she was homeless? Alyssa, nodding faintly. And she didn't wait for thanks. She just, helped. A pause. Then Ethan's voice shifted. Steal in it now. Find her. To the young woman who selflessly saved my wife and unborn child. I am offering a $250,000 reward for anyone who can help us find you. No questions. No obligations. Just gratitude. Social media exploded. Some praised the gesture. Others called it a PR stunt. But Ethan wasn't interested in opinions. He just wanted a name. Maya sat with her back against a dumpster, legs tucked under her coat, her breath fogging the cold air. She still hadn't slept. The blood from that morning was still dried under her fingernails. And in her pocket was a folded napkin from Rico's, 2 eggs and toast, on the house. On the house, the cook said with a wink. You look like someone who did something good. Maya just nodded. She hadn't told him. She hadn't told anyone. She was still trying to understand what had happened. Thinking. I was just trying to help. But even she knew it was more than that. She remembered gripping the woman's hand. The panic in her eyes. The warm blood on her palms. The way everything slowed around her. And yet. It was the first time in years Maya felt like she existed. Like her life wasn't invisible. At 6 p.m., every major channel ran it. Billionaire offers massive reward for homeless hero. Mystery woman saves CEO's pregnant wife and disappears. Who is she? Maya watched from behind a laundromat window, the screen inside glowing through the glass. Her heart sank. Because for the first time in years, someone was looking for her. And it scared her more than anything. The internet did what the internet does. Some praised the mystery girl. Others questioned her intentions. How do we know she didn't stage the whole thing? If she's homeless, how was she even there? This is a distraction from Blake's layoffs. Maya stopped reading after the first dozen comments. She tucked deeper into her hoodie. Head down. Heart tight. She didn't want to be famous. She just wanted to do the right thing. A reporter begged for a comment. Alyssa, weak but firm, agreed. On camera, she spoke plainly. This girl, she saved my life. And my babies. She didn't wait for cameras. She didn't ask for money. She just showed up when no one else did. Whoever she is. I hope she knows. She is not forgotten. That night, Maya dreamed she was 10 years old again. Her mother's voice. The warmth of a real bed. Laughter in the kitchen. And then. Silence. The dream shifted. She was kneeling on the pavement again, holding that woman's hand. But this time, she heard a whisper. Let them see you, Maya. She woke in a cold sweat. The next morning, an anonymous worker at Rico's called the reward hotline. I don't know her name, he said. But she's been sleeping behind our diner for months. Always quiet. Always kind. I think, she's the one. Late afternoon. Maya sat behind the diner, writing in her notebook. A black SUV pulled up across the street. The door opened. Ethan Blake stepped out. Not in a suit. No cameras. Just jeans, a sweater, and eyes full of emotion. Maya stood. Ready to run. Are you Maya? Silence. My wife said your name in her sleep. Maya's shoulders tensed. I didn't do it for anything. I know. That's why we need to talk. They didn't go viral that day. There was no press conference. No award show. Just 2 people sitting on a bench outside a diner. One with more money than he could spend. The other with less than most carry in their pockets. Ethan. You saved my family. Maya, quietly. I just did what I hoped someone would do for me. Tears welled in his eyes. Let us help you now. Maya didn't speak. But she nodded. Just once. And that was enough. Later that night, she wrote. Maybe the world does see people like me. Eventually. Maybe kindness doesn't need a camera. Maybe it just needs courage. Sometimes, we think it's money that saves lives. Or fame. Or influence. But sometimes. It's a girl with nothing in her hands. But everything in her heart. She didn't save a life to be found. But now that she is. Her story is just beginning. She never asked to be found. She never imagined anyone would care. But after saving a life, the world came knocking. And now. Maya has a choice to make. One she's never been offered before. Stay hidden. Or finally step into the light. The house was beautiful. Too beautiful. White shutters. Spanish tiles. A garden that looked like it had never known chaos. Maya stood at the gate, shoulders tight beneath her hoodie. She clutched the only thing she owned, her backpack. Torn strap. Zipped shut like her heart. Alyssa opened the door with a soft smile. Ethan stood behind her with quiet eyes. This is just a place to breathe. No expectations. Maya stared for a beat too long. Then, with hesitant steps, she walked through the gate. Every nerve in her body told her she didn't belong. Inside smelled like cinnamon and lavender. Maya took off her shoes at the door, not because anyone asked her to, but because it felt like something you'd do in a place you didn't want to ruin. She noticed everything. The piano near the window. The bowl of fruit that looked like it had been washed. The photos on the mantel, Alyssa in college, Ethan at a board meeting, a sonogram with a caption in soft cursive, "Little light." Maya's chest tightened. You can stay here as long as you want. The guest room's yours. No cameras. No media. Just rest. Maya nodded but didn't speak. She kept her eyes down. The guest room had a soft bed. A lamp with yellow light. Clean towels. An unopened toothbrush. Maya didn't sit on the bed. She curled up in the corner, on the rug, next to the outlet. Backpack still zipped. Still clutched tight. Sleep came in broken waves. A flash of her mother's face. A police siren. The cold metal of a bench. She woke up gasping, hand over her heart. In the dark, she whispered. It's not real. It's not mine. But the silence didn't answer. She found a pen and scribbled quickly, like the words might run away. Asterisk, I don't trust softness. I don't trust kindness. I don't trust peace. Because every time it showed up, it left. Asterisk. Maya was 11 the first time she saw her mother overdose. They were in a motel room in Inglewood. Maya was watching cartoons. Then silence. A thud. She called 911 herself. Her mom survived, that time. Didn't the next. After the funeral, no one told Maya where they were taking her. Just another name in the foster system. She learned fast. Don't get comfortable. Don't unpack. Don't get attached. When she was 15, she ran away for good. She'd been on the street ever since. Ethan and Alyssa never pushed. They offered. They asked. They waited. Breakfast. Maya ate quietly. Therapy. She declined. A phone. She accepted but never used it. She spent most of her time walking. Circling the same block, over and over, until her legs ached. At night, she sat on the porch. Staring up at the stars like she was searching for her mother's face. The media didn't let go. Her face was blurred in most outlets. But not all. Someone posted a clip of her walking down Melrose in Ethan's car. A few strangers started approaching her when she went outside. You're that girl, right? Can I take a picture? Are you faking this whole thing? She stopped walking after that. One night, the house phone rang. Maya didn't pick up. But the voicemail played. Maya Davis. We know your record. We know where you've been. You're no hero. You're just lucky. She dropped the receiver. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. That night, she couldn't sleep. She sat in the guest room's closet, door closed, knees to chest. She screamed into her palms. Cried until her voice cracked. She hated herself for wanting to disappear again. For believing she deserved peace. For feeling like the world would always find a way to shove her back into the shadows. She punched the closet wall. Then the floor. And finally. She just whispered. I don't know how to be okay. The next morning, Alyssa found her curled up in the hallway. She didn't speak. She just sat beside her. Held her. Let Maya sob into her chest like a child. When the tears slowed, Alyssa whispered. You don't have to be okay yet. You just have to be here. Ethan had been working on something. A foundation in Maya's name. Not a charity. A movement. Programs for runaway teens. Mobile therapy buses. Job placement for women aging out of the foster system. When he told Maya, she panicked. Don't use my name. Please. Why? She looked at him, raw and broken. Because what if I mess up? Ethan nodded. Then we stand with you. Even in the mess. They invited her to a brunch. Women from shelters. Teen moms. Counselors. Maya sat silently through most of it. Until a girl, maybe 17, asked. How did you know to run toward her? Most people don't. Maya blinked. A long pause. That's. Because no one ever ran toward me. And I remember how that felt. I still do. The table went quiet. Then the girl whispered. Thank you for seeing her. And for seeing us. That night, Maya wrote. Maybe this is what healing feels like. Not clean. Not perfect. Just real. Just, possible. The nightmares don't stop. But neither does she. The past didn't vanish. Some nights, she still dreamed of being locked out in the rain. Of cold benches. Of the taste of hunger. But she began to answer Ethan's calls. She began to respond when Alyssa knocked on her door. She began to journal in the living room, instead of hiding. She began, again. It's not easy to accept love when all you've ever known is survival. But Maya was trying. And in trying, she was teaching the world what real bravery looks like. Not in saving someone else. But in daring to believe. You're worth saving too. She ran toward a stranger and saved a life. The world gave her attention, then pressure. But the real battle wasn't in front of cameras. It was inside her. And now, for the first time, Maya's not running anymore. She's becoming. Location, Women's Community Center, Los Angeles. Time, 3 months later. The room is small. Humble. Rows of folding chairs. Cheap coffee in styrofoam cups. But the air is full, alive with attention, hearts open. Maya stands at the front, trembling slightly. A podium. A mic. 50 people watching. Some homeless. Some former foster kids. Some social workers. All quiet. She looks down at the index cards in her hand. Crinkled at the edges. Covered in notes. Then slowly, she puts them down. I never thought I'd be standing here. I never thought anyone would care what I had to say. A long pause. She meets their eyes. But I know what it's like to feel invisible. To feel like every door is locked and every window's too high to climb through. To sit in the cold and wonder if anyone would notice if you were gone. She swallows. A lump rising in her throat. And I know what it means, when someone does see you. 6 weeks earlier. Maya stood in front of a microphone at a fundraiser Ethan's team organized. Lights. Cameras. Suits and dresses. Applause. Smiles. All too polished. Maya froze. A speechwriter handed her the script she refused to read. The words didn't feel like hers. She tried to speak. Her lips trembled. Then she turned and walked off stage. Head down. Chest tight. She collapsed into the restroom minutes later, hyperventilating. Maya panicked. I can't do this. I'm not her. I'm not your hero. Later that night, Alyssa found her in the backyard. Wrapped in a blanket. Sitting under a lemon tree. Alyssa. You don't have to be anyone else. Just be Maya. Maya. But what if she's not enough? A long pause. Alyssa, tearful. She's more than enough. She's the reason I get to hold my daughter. Silence. Maya looked up at the stars. Maya. I want to speak. But, with my own words. And so she did. First, to a small circle of girls at a youth shelter. Then, on a podcast hosted by a former foster kid. Then a blog interview. The world was watching. But Maya didn't talk to them. She talked to the ones still out there. The ones she used to be. I know you're tired. I know the nights feel longer than your hope. But if you're still breathing, you still have a shot. One afternoon, an email came. Subject, we remember you. It was from a woman Maya had once stayed with, her third foster home. The woman ran a private boarding house. The message was short. We remember how difficult you were. You ran away, cost us funding, and now you're acting like a saint. People like you don't change. They perform, asterisk. Maya stared at the screen for 5 minutes. Heart pounding. Hands cold. Later that night, she was supposed to speak at an event. Big venue. 500 attendees. Live streamed. She got to the parking lot. Sat in Ethan's SUV. Froze. Maya, whispers. I can't. I can't be something they'll try to tear down. She started crying. Ethan, from the passenger seat. Maya, no one can take away the truth. They don't need to. I already doubted myself. A long silence. Then, through her tears. Why me? Why save me? Why give me everything? Ethan looked at her, not as a billionaire, not as a savior. But as a man who had also felt powerless once. Because when no one else moved. You did. Maya was 9. She watched her mother give her last $20 to a stranger outside a gas station. But what about us, Mama? Kindness doesn't wait for perfect. It just shows up when it can. That was the last good day Maya remembered before the spiral began. She didn't give a perfect speech that night. Her voice cracked. She lost her place. She said, too much. But it was hers. I'm not a story. I'm not a headline. I'm a girl who once believed no one would ever come for her. And now I know. Sometimes, we have to come for ourselves. The crowd stood. Not for the performance. For the honesty. I used to think becoming meant becoming someone else. Someone shinier. Braver. More worthy. But becoming. It's just becoming more of who you already are. Even the broken parts. Especially those. Asterisk. Maya walks the halls of the new program her foundation helped build. She's not a figurehead. She's there. Every Tuesday. Talking. Listening. Teaching. She's in jeans. A hoodie. Her old journal in her bag. Smiling at a girl in the corner who hasn't spoken in 2 weeks. Maya walks over. Sits beside her. No rush. But when you're ready. I'm here. This is not a story about a homeless girl who saved someone. This is a story about a girl who saved herself. By choosing not to run. By choosing to be seen. And by remembering that being enough isn't something you earn. It's something you already are. To anyone who has ever felt invisible. We see you. You matter. You are becoming. If this story touched you. If Maya's journey reminded you that healing is possible. Even after the world has tried to bury you. Then don't just scroll past. Tell us in the comments. I'm learning to see myself too. Your words might be the reason someone else holds on. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear that they're not alone. Like if you believe that sometimes, it's not about being saved. It's about being seen. And if you're still on your journey, know this. You don't have to become someone new to be enough. You just have to become more of you.